Hello and welcome to the Game Fuel Marquee match. Maven and Merc here. We've got OpTic versus Legion to continue on today. Joe, sir, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. You know, Toronto getting back into the swing of things with the 3-0 that we just watched. But for Paris, maybe some momentum on their side, able to take down the Los Angeles Thieves. And then for OpTic, it's a bounce back match, right? After the 3-0 versus Atlanta FaZe, we want to see some improvements, right? The mission for them is not done. Keep improving for the end of the year.
100%. There's still a lot of work to do, and I want to check out our Game Fuel feature player, who for this matchup is going to be Scump, the king, the beast, a gamer so popular that 4 years ago, a baby named Seth went from 2% in the United States to 48%, Joe.
It absolutely did. Yeah, I mean, Scump, obviously, you know, he has really had a solid year, especially in Search and Destroy these last couple of stages. It feels like, I mean, him and Envoy really starting to work together a little bit more. And the only thing with Scump at times is he can start a little slow in those game one hard points. But the big thing here is that number 2 in Search and Destroy. He's been solid in control and hard point as a submachine gun player. He knows he doesn't have to be the star with Dashy and Envoy on his team. But in S&D, he has been so good for this squad.
He absolutely has, and they're going to need that today. As you mentioned, just Legion kind of coming alive as of late. You heard the fire and the passion, their comms in their last series. And maybe a little revenge match maybe for Temp, but hoping they can bring that same fire here today. But you see Scump getting locked in, talking things through with the boys as they look to bounce back from, yeah, it was a tough series. I mean, it was brutal. There's no other way to look at it. You just have to put that in the rearview mirror and bring your best today. That's all you can really do, and it's tough.
No, I think for OpTic, you know, the goal for them just top 3, right? Get to the major, top 3, get to land. That's what these veterans want. They want to get back to that stage.
Absolutely, but let's talk about this OpTic Chicago lineup. Let's take a look through this star-studded roster. We'll check it out now.
Mighty keeps it going. Normal, looking fantastic. Envoy slaying his way through. Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score up.
I'm gonna make it back, I'm gonna make it back, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic gaming are back. Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
You got to bring the fire today, the passion, get back on track. The wins are huge. We're getting back to land. You want the best position possible. Joe, who are your eyes on today?
Well, I think my eyes are mainly on Formal. I mean, obviously, you know, they get 3-0'd. It's a squad loss. It's just what it was. But Formal really underperformed. He had one of the lowest series KD-wise of the year, stats-wise. So, you know, he's a main AR. He's got to be the one to really set the pace, and doesn't have any easy matchup of going up against Aqua today.
No, absolutely. You just don't usually get series like that out of a player like Formal. When it comes to the slaying category, he's typically pretty consistent. So looking for him to bounce back in a big way. Now on the other side of it, Paris Legion, hot off a big victory. Can they keep it rolling? Let's check out the roster here for Legion.
Wonderful start here for Paris Legion. Paris Legion just about pushed that player off the hard point.
Just can they clutch up and go big?
Classic just being aggressive in the plane.
Fire's got to get on the bomb, and he will. He finds the kill.
Unbelievable stuff. Awkward from the back end, able to pick up 3 along the way.
Paris Legions. What a round!
Joe, I was so impressed with just the comms we heard the other day. You would expect maybe at times this team to be down on themselves, just considering the performances they've had so far. But against Thieves, man, you heard the passion. They came out with a fire, and they got an impressive win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you look at this lineup from top to bottom, there's a lot of talent here. There isn't all the teams,
sure.
You know, in the league. But I think these guys, especially in the respawns, they have the firepower. When you went to that listening on Apocalypse, it was just like they were playing like their year was on the line, and it kind of is. Every single match for them is so important with the CDL points on the line.
100%, but let's get into our Game Fuel keys to victory now. We're going to start off with Paris Legion. Joe, what were your thoughts?
Well, they got to keep up with the momentum and search and destroy. You know, they've been a pretty back-and-forth respawn team, but when you're winning searches, that keeps you in the series. That gets you to a game 4, another hard point if you have a slow game 1. Aqua needs some help in hardpoint. He's the only positive player on Paris. Legion 1 in 5 in stage 4. I know there's a lot of roles shifting going around, but they have to get it together going up against a tough respawn team here. And play with the same passion and intensity that we heard in the comments for Steve. That's kind of it. Every single match is so important for this squad.
It's just interesting to see that stat line because I guess when you see it on paper, you think this is a team that would be solid in hardpoint and maybe struggle in search, but it's the total opposite. At least right now.
100%. Yeah, no, you are not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's been kind of wild. But now the keys to victory for OpTic Chicago. Joe, go ahead.
Well, come out of the gates hot. Don't give Paris any momentum to work off of. You know, they have that win. These guys are fired up now. And then a bounce back match for Formal. 0.46 for Atlanta FaZe. The big thing, though, is -27 in those respawns. Games 1 and 3. He's got to be better there. And then Scump to stay consistent and search and destroy. He had a 1.2 in stage 3. He's got a 1.5 in stage 4. I know it's not a huge body of work, but that is just where he's just been so darn good.
Yeah, I mean, we have a tale of two stories here. Kind of one team trying to ride the momentum off of recent win. One team trying to bounce back from a recent thrashing. And we'll see who is able to do it. But I guess, Joe, I know Legion hasn't been great in the respawns, especially the hardpoint as of late, but we know it's a team that can catch fire. Do you see them as a big threat here at OpTic?
I think I see them as a threat in map 1 on garrison control, because that has been Legion's kind of go-to hardpoint. They're 7-4 on the year. The raid in the Moscow, not as much, because I think that's where OpTic has been very promising throughout this entire year. So game 1 for me is kind of the place, games 1 and 2, where Legion can maybe get this to a game 5. The standoff is still so new. Both teams are 1-0. There's not a lot of work off of them, and Garrison has kind of been Legion's home. So if you're a Paris fan, maps 1 and 2, that is your opportunity in this series.
Yeah, I mean, you really want to take both, but if you can at least go 1-1. I mean, the one standoff we saw, they look great, but yeah, it's a small body of work for basically everybody in the league right now, but it just added into the mix. We get ready to start off with Garrison hardpoint. And this is one that, OpTic kind of put into the arsenal a little bit more when, Raid was struggling for them when you talk over the last couple of stages. And they look to improve here. Dashy is a guy that, I mean, it felt like when he was taking over this map, Joe, they were getting wins.
Yeah, I mean, early in the year, it was a lot of Garrison that we thought, and they kind of got away from it. And then they came back to it because, early on in the matches, they didn't go so well for them. And then, yeah, they went to Raid. But Garrison is just one when you think about, a lot of engagements OpTic should be good on. But Paris is kind of right there. They're a team that thrives on this map with a pace they can set, and Temp and Scraps going to open this game up for some early P1 control.
They'll get off to a nice start. Let's see if they can rally this together. Well, Scraps has got the read, but Scump's got the gunny. There's the opener to get them out of the hard point. As multiple players fall in his squad, the pressure going to come to Temp as he's playing from cautious, looking for the angle. As Formal will rotate into the point. Now Formal's time to pounce, because we're looking for him big time to rebound from that last series versus FaZe, but slow start so far.
Yeah, you see number 6 Dashy, him and Formal just making sure they have the rotation over that second hill. That's why 5 and 6 are there. One player is going to spawn out, though. That's going to be Envoy. Hard to get that forward position as Aptius, he starts to go hunting. So you see where Temp is spawning. You're going to have a good first push here. If you are Paris Legion on this second hill, well, OpTic, they're going to have to fight from it. Can they win the first couple of fights from this position? And over to Scump, our game field featured player. He's trying to rotate through, but Temp rocking that AR, a 5-1 start for him.
We know the passion and how ferocious he can be. Like Temp, man, when he gets rolling, he is a man on a mission. And he keep it going here. He's taking out teammates as well as he's lighting everybody up. The 6-2 start will be great, but end of the hard point with the clearance. Now goes OpTic. There's still a healthy amount of time here, about half the time left on the hard point. Is Scump trying to settle into a position in top green. He's sliding around, trying to get the finesse game on, but Scraps will be there and has his number. Is Formal on the receiving end of some more Temp beams.
Well, that's just a great job by OpTic, right? They're fighting from the hill. A couple of players are spawning out in Paris. They have a 4-on-2 for a brief moment. In the trades, they're able to trade effectively. And yes, the team kill does come in, but Scump takes the long route. He's able to get on in, gets his team spawns. They now have that 28-second lead. And you see Scraps, he's going to spawn out. So it's a 4-on-3 right now. They're going to try and trade this out as quickly as possible. You see the forward position for OpTic. They're going to spawn another one out, and what a play by Envoy just to try and stay alive. His AR some angles. Dashy and Formal not able to connect on anything quite yet.
Well, we were so impressed with the Legion comms we heard in their last series. Just passionate. They were firing on all cylinders. Excited to see if that's going to be the same case here. Let's go to an Astro listening for Paris Legion.
Get him! Kill this guy, kill this guy.
Absolute.
Nice, baby. Get this time, get this time.
Push out the front,
Front,
Nice.
I need you front, I need you front. Left side front. I need you front.
Calm down,
Get this 20, get this 20.
Have you got spot?
Go tunnel,
He's
go
top
tunnel.
He's top cat, top cat.
Absolute, lay down behind the caution plot. Take your time,
Lay down behind the big
one's
front. I'm gonna get
Top cat, left side.
Yo, front envoy.
Top cat, former one shot.
Envoy's front, he went
Yo, former
forward.
squaring up cat, bro.
I'm gonna help Dark, bro.
I flashed him.
Come down. Push that
Nice,
tunnel, push
nice,
that
nice.
tunnel. He's going back to the hill from tunnel.
Dark, hurt. Envoy.
Absolute, bro.
Top green,
Full
former.
caution.
Former dead, one more in the hill, Brandon.
Dark.
Nice,
Brandon in the
two.
hill.
Still alive in the left, still alive in the left.
Kill this kid, where was that?
Top cat,
He's
couldn't you
under
off? He's laying down top cat.
No top cat.
He dropped B-hop.
Yo, Charlie hill, Brandon.
What's low ven on you?
Can we get Brandon?
Actually, no, I be one, I'm gonna be one.
Set this low ven.
Actually, no, man.
He could be dark.
In the bin.
One,
Be one,
Nice, two.
Be one,
Well,
be
mid,
one.
Kill this guy.
Envoy
He went left side
side
mid. He went left side mid.
Yep,
Look
that's
at
me.
top green.
I'm gonna be up. He can go rails.
He's mid. Rails.
I need you
Right
to
now,
rails. I need rails. He's still.
Stop, hey, P1.
Up and down.
P1,
That's
Brandon, P1. P1 Dashy, sit down. He's mid, you saw him mid.
I thought green.
Top
P1.
P1. Close rails.
That's
Top
green.
green.
Top cat, top cat.
Dead. One more top cat formal. He's going top green window. In top green window. Top green.
Nice.
That
Ready to be, left hand mid. I'm hopping up.
I didn't hit him. He's still tanked.
Left hand mid, Envoy dead.
Nice
One
job.
square.
Time, I'm working on mid. He's P1. Dashy's P1.
Close green box.
P1
Close
stairs.
green. Close green.
Dash
hurt.
on you, P1 stairs. Dashy. Dashy on the
Dashy
stairs.
dead.
Nice shit.
They're alive,
Scump
they're
is
done.
green. Still alive.
He's above you down,
He's
above
top
you.
green.
Yeah, he's still there.
I got shot in the back. Low
holding him.
rails. He's mid tank.
He's low
Still
hill.
there.
Low mid.
Still
Low
there.
rails. Low rails.
That's my
I
brother.
heard you.
He's picking your side.
I can kill the guy.
Back tank.
He got rails.
Still rails. He's still
Rails
rails.
He's
dead,
back
rails
right.
dead, rails dead. One more
That's
top
back
green.
right.
Top green above me.
That's one in the back.
Top green, absolute.
They're spawning bricks.
Absolute top green.
They're spawning bricks.
Top green,
Get those.
absolute. Top green, absolute. Top green. In the
Yeah,
left corner, you see.
Well, Joe, I was hoping to hear fired up Paris again, and I think that's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tepid Aqua. You hear Scraps a little bit in there, Zaptius a little quieter, but, you know, when you have basically a couple of players saying everything that needs to be said, you're all for it. And there is a very fine line, you have to say, between sort of energy and panic in communication. There might be some pros listening to that they don't like that, right? Some people just can't really handle that all of the time. But if it works for Paris, it works. If it gets them fired up, that's all that matters.
100%. Different types of communication work for different people, and as I say that, though, that's going to be 4 down for Legion. But time ticking off of the hard points. Everyone looking to set up for next. It's going to be Dashy in position to hold this. Only got to drop 1 before he gets traded out. Now on over to Envoy. We'll go. Formal lining people up, maybe starting to heat up a bit in this one. Envoy's been on one the entire game, though. 19 and 12, 4 in a row for him. Having himself a map, but they're down 15.
Yeah, but you see that spawn recognition right away from Formal and Dashy. I mean, Envoy and Scump get very aggressive. A great job by Dashy. Him and Formal, they know 2 players are going to spawn out, and they get both of the kills. So now with this map position, look at this spread by OpTic right now. Envoy and Scump just rotating around the map, finding kill after kill as they soak up this time. This makes that rotation a little bit easier to second. You have Formal already rotating on over. Dashy just trying to get that time. But we saw this last time around. Can OpTic make it a little bit cleaner at this second hill? A nice opening gunfight win by Aqua. And here comes the pinch. But Scump holding on.
Yeah, they had another player there, and it's our Game Fuel featured player in Scump making the play. Trophy, get out of my way as well. They'll be in a position for this opening hold. Is everyone going to be spawning on the left side of that minimap? As Legion gets set up. Poke the front of the point. 2 are going to drop. They found an opening into it. Really, the last guy here is going to be Formal playing from top green. So what looked pretty solid for OpTic early due to Scump's play. It's a pretty fast break for Legion.
Oh, well, it looked amazing, right, from the first kill in the map control that they had, but they lost it really quickly. They died right around that 10-second mark. That gave Paris an opportunity to get pushed up. They took advantage of it. I thought Scump, with his 2 kills, they were going to be able to hold on, but Scraps and Zap just fight on back with 5 kills in a row. And now it's a race across the map for these spawns for our 3rd hill. The Envoy and Scump trying to do what they can. Sorry, Dashy trying to do what they can all the way towards the back. And Scraps, he's by himself, just trying to buy time. But they're going to hunt him down.
Yeah, 100%. Like, can I stay alive till my teammates get here? Oh God, they're gonna nearly chest bump, but Scraps comes away with it. Scump gonna drop at the same time. There's an opening now for Legion. The players for OpTic Chicago do spawn safe, so still be in a position to fight this, but the back garage, I thought open for Legion for a moment. Now the hit's gonna come in from the front. To our game field feature player we go, as Scump is trying to hold on around the point, soak up the time, make the plays, just so many in front, but the help is there. OpTic still standing in the point.
And Dashy now on 4 in a row. Such a good job just playing his life, paying patiently towards the back, making sure they had the spawn secure, and they needed this, right? Down 40 points coming into it. Now up to a 5 spree, start to think about some streaks. About to have a lead change come in. They're playing for that map position. You see, that was Formal on the hill. He knows the back spawns are in, and OpTic, they're able to get out towards the middle of the map. And Scraps again is in this position on rotation where he's just trying to hide from OpTic, playing a little hide and go seek. And now can Scraps make the play? It feels like they forgot about him right now. Formal though, he's taking down his teammates. When does Scrap come out of the vent? Here we go.
Here'll pop. Now what can he get off of this? Little pre-fire out. Envoy and him so many times almost seen each other. That one he's able to take, but Formal quickly threw on the trade. Basically a tie game as Legion now trying to open up another lead. And Aqua, who has been sensational for them, especially in their last series, not having as big of a pop-off game as he did maybe in the last, with the teammates stepping it up in a big way.
Well, and that's what we needed, right? Especially in hardpoint. That's where Aqua's been so consistent all year long, but his teammates have really struggled in the slaying category. And, well, they're slaying with one of the best hardpoint teams in the game right now. Got Scraps, who's positive, Temp's right around even. Same with aBeZy, and have this 25-point lead. They're just getting the kills at the right moments. OpTic is out slaying them. It's just when those kills are coming in that they've been able to break those setups and make this game a lot tougher for OpTic.
Well, OpTic's trying to make it a little tougher on Legion as they do get 3 down during that sequence. Fresh hardpoint is up, and OpTic have rotated in. The Temp's POV we go. He's got some from the front, some behind. He will drop as Formal picks up a 2-piece. Now, unfortunately, Scump, who's pre-aiming top green, gets peeked from up close and will fall. Formal heating up. He started a little slow. Now on 3 in a row at 23 and 19. He's picking it up as OpTic looking for a lead change in this one.
Well, and you see when your main ARs or your ARs, especially on hills 4 and 5, are finding those kills or those threes. That's when they can get into the power positions. That's when you're able to really eat up that time. Is once again, we're going to have another lead change. It feels like we've had so many already. Is OpTic again fighting for the middle map control with about 5 to 10 seconds left so they can get the setup they want and force Paris to run into those ARs. The Scump's going to find a Craig, but look at the push. It's all going to be from top green. The Legion, they're trying to fly out together. They're able to find that first one, but they know they have to break.
Here comes the big push. OpTic can technically close it out here. You need some contest, some time if you are Legion. Temp wins a one-on-one. Aqua is picking up the spawn out. He's able to do that beautifully. Nice shots there from Aqua as we were just calling out his slow game. He's starting to light fire. aBeZy then from top green keeps it rolling, and it's a Legion break. They're in the point. Another lead change as Legion go out in front with 20 seconds remaining on the point.
Yeah, this could be a key one-on-one right here. Aqua versus Dashy, and Aqua again on the rotation. You're going to see he has his team spawns. They're going to give this up. It's going to be about this second hill. OpTic, been a couple of opportunities where they rotated early, but they were not able to hold on. And now they get that break, maybe close out this game, but it is all tied up. Who is going to start off that push? Emp off a spawn. He was able to find one. It's going to be a push through bricks. aBeZy, the point man. Going to have a 1v1 versus Scump, and in the back, Formal, as you said, heating on up. Able to take him down as they get positioning. And once again, it comes down to Scraps, but Formal with 3.
Wait, one team gets 4, one team gets 3. It could not have been closer for the numbers. Now here for OpTic as they get the close spawn. In they go, 15 points needed for the W Legion. Just 10 points away from securing the map 1. As the Legion POV we go onto this key break. They've got to get in, they've got to battle through. Aqua can't take the next one-on-one, but there is a contest on the point for now. Who's left standing? It's OpTic. They close it out with a key break. And the final hard point to get the 10-point dub. But how many lead changes did we have in that one, Joe? It felt like 10 plus.
It was wild, just so back and forth. And you know, you're gonna look at the slaying, it's pretty one-sided, right? OpTic really started to heat up, but it's when the kills came in for Paris. They were making the game messy, right? You find a couple of kills, Scraps did a beautiful job playing his life at times, and you know, a couple of those moments where maybe that turns into a larger lead for OpTic, but that keeps Paris in it. When they had this setup, OpTic, they needed a break, they got it there towards the end.
Yeah, we talk so much about efficiently trading, and man, that was the definition of it when you looked at the final hard point. I mean, it was like 1 for 1, 1 for 1, 1 for 1. Then finally you got that extra kill. If you were OpTic, it was enough to get into the hard point. They get the slightly closer spawn, and they're able to take control from there. But on the other side, it's heartbreak for Legion. You could taste that one. The victory was so close, but you fall short, and you can see, I mean, the hard point woes, it's not been great. They're 1-9 their last 10 hard points, which is just, I guess it's a bit surprising considering this roster for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And you know, that's where it felt like they had a lot of success earlier in the year. That's where they were competing with the teams. But here's that scoreboard. I mean, Envoy 31-29, over 6,000 damage. Everyone positive on the side of OpTic. But Legion, they battled on through when they had to. A beautiful hardpoint back and forth, but that was the Legion hardpoint pick in the series.
Yeah, that was the one where you thought maybe they needed to get the win, but it's going to be a happy OpTic going into Game 2 Search and Destroy. It'll be standoff where both teams sitting at 1-0. We'll be back to the action in just a moment after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G.
Welcome back. Game 1 is in the books, and OpTic able to pull away with the W in the final moments and the final hard point. What a nail-biting finish it was. But we're going to talk a little bit about OpTic and, you know, how the performances have been so far when you talk about against like top teams and against teams maybe they should beat. And when you look at it, you see against a team like Paris, they're 2-0, and obviously Paris has had their struggles this year. But then when you talk about like the top dogs and a team like Atlanta FaZe, they're 0-3 there. I guess, Joe, how does this roster find maybe more of a happy medium?
Well, I think that's what they're trying to figure out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? You know, it's a tough question. Obviously, I think talent-wise, they should be. Listen, like the 0-3, he isn't necessarily crazy because Atlanta FaZe is such a good team, but the matches should be more competitive. That's what I'm really looking at. Like, I think a lot of people were happy with the way OpTic played at the Major. Why? Because you go all the way to a Game 5, Round 11 with your Major 2 champion. Okay, and I think what does that show is that shows progress and them improving. But then you see, another match like going up against Atlanta FaZe, and you're hoping that it'll be a back and forth battle, and it just hasn't been. So you have to take these matches against a team like Paris and expand the map pool, figure out what mistakes that you're making, how can you fix them, and you have to use those matches for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you were an OpTic fan, like, you just want to see, you know, we were playing against the top teams that, yeah, like you have a chance. Like you feel like these guys could beat them. You know, maybe we aren't right now, but we've got a shot, and it's just hard to believe in that. And if you look at like the last 2 matches they've had against them, yeah, but it's all about growth as the year goes on, and hell, maybe growth within this stage as we get ready for our, well, our majors to get back to land, which I'm sure the guys are very, very excited about. But now to standoff we go. The new addition to Search and Destroy here in the CDL, a fan favorite, a lifelong favorite. Both teams played once, both found the W.
Yeah, you know, Paris, it looks really good. They beat Atlanta FaZe. It's like 6-0, 6-1. And OpTic knows that they're probably going to stick with a lot of those strategies, so you have some POD to work off of. And same thing for the Paris side, but early on, be a couple of trades right around this middle house with Scraps. Gonna find the second one on Envoy, gonna force the 2 versus 2.
You see the defense right now, pretty split. Scraps and Aqua. Oh, one lurking mid-brown, and they're behind, tucked away behind that A site. It looks like OpTic's starting to... I thought they were going to try and group up a bit here, but it looks like Dashy just looking maybe for eyes towards Statue as Formal works with this bomb all the way through back alley.
I think he's just trying to find Scraps. That's really it. Like, did he stay mid-brown? Did he try to get pushed up? And then where is Aqua? They probably know his position. You can see he's been looking towards A. It's just, which corner is he in? Well, Scraps, he's going to get spotted. Oh, Formal not even able to find those shots, but those a lot crispier. Able to find that kill. Scraps so weak, he's got to back down. Bomb now open up towards the A site. And while Dashy looking over him, that's nice communication, nice patience from the OpTic boys. Able to find those opening kills and really just find Aqua, because that's the info they were trying to look for. Where did these players go? Well, Scraps, he's on up top, right? Just trying to watch mid courtyard, and Formal's in his spawn. Doesn't expect that.
Dude, oh yeah, I was a little worried we didn't finish the kill onto Scraps, but nice little snapper there onto Aqua to kind of guarantee the round. This 4-1 Dashy get that clutch. Now over to offense go Legion. Scraps really gets the only kills in the round that make it interesting around Brown. What's their plan of attack going to be? It looks like it's going to be a fast hit towards A. And you've really just got a presence kind of in spawn for OpTic, and then aggressive towards back alley, but the aggressive push going to get taken care of so far by Aqua.
And Scump, I thought he was going to pick up that trade. I mean, he was so weak, but he gets caught with a nade in his hand, so he just backs down. You have the man advantage. It slows things down, and now you have some more information, but Formal, he's going to take down Scraps this time, make this a 3v3. And I thought with Aqua getting a hit marker with that tactical towards the back alley, that was going to be the green light to go towards A. They are going to push up. A Formal working through the middle of the street, gets the timing, and here come the trades.
Another 2 versus 2. Dashy now through on the help. Temp going to be the last man up. Looks like he's going to be able to get the plant away free. Trophy out. He's got trophy covers just about everywhere now. Can he clutch up against Dashy and Scump? With around 30 seconds to work with on the defuse.
A lot of this bomb site just comes down to timing, right? Temp knows sooner or later Dashy's going to have to look at the middle of the street. He's looking over him now. He's on the defuse, but they just stick it. Not enough time. Temp, he's hoping that they're just going to hold the angles, basically look both ways until that time is of essence of them to get on the defuse. But
yeah,
don't just trust Dashy. That's really it.
I think he was maybe thinking there was another 2 seconds before they would have hopped on it. I'm guessing just a little more time before that actually would have started.
Yep.
Yeah, but they just get on it so quickly. Nice little defuse there from OpTic as they close it out, go up 2-0. Let's see if there's a change in plan of attack for OpTic as Foremost started nicely here in the Search and Destroy, 3-1. Really found some nice openings in that round too. And part of the retake in the 2 versus 2. Oh, that timing, I thought was the worst, but it ends up working out. A little snap there from Envoy, the help through from Scump, early 4v2.
Yeah, I think whoever that first player was stopped shooting at Envoy and was probably ready to re-snap onto Scump. But sometimes that muscle memory, it can catch you. And well, that time it does. They're going to hear that mantle on up. They're going to hunt Temp down. A couple of these rounds where Paris, it looks like they have the opening or the advantage. OpTic have just ripped it away from them.
Also one lonely player on Legion, and he will drop. So far, so good, so clean here from OpTic Chicago, as they take advantage of their early numbers and go up 3-0. It is our Game Field Marquee match, and we hope everyone out there is having just a fantastic weekend.
I mean, really, throughout this game, it's really the pace set by Envoy and Scump. There hasn't been a round where those two haven't been active. On defense, they were pushed up back alley. On offense, it's been middle of the map both times. They're just taking it right to them. I'm a little bit slower, going to back things up. But right away, as soon as they see it's an A push, look at Envoy. He's already in the attacking spawn. And again, Formal the middle of the street, able to take down that player on statue. And again, with another one, a multi-kill on defense for Formal.
Yeah, he's just waltzing up mid. Just picking them apart. Huge numbers. Okay, Zaptius couldn't finish it. Scump ends up winning that fight. God knows how much health he had left. It ends up being a 4 clean wipe there for OpTic as the dominance here in the search to destroy carries on. I mean, this is right up mid-street. Give me a gunfight. Give me one-on-one after one-on-one. Beams!
That's really it. I mean, he's saying challenge me. Like, I want to take the gunfight. But it does look like a timeout is coming in. We're going to see what's going on. But, I mean, yeah, props to Formal for just challenging Statue multiple defensive rounds in a row. But even on the other side of the map, I love what we saw from Envoy. As soon as it's A, it's him on the flank. They are reacting beautifully when it comes to their defense.
Absolutely. We'll let you know as soon as we know what's going on. Could have just been I don't know, maybe a controller malfunction as soon as we know more. But shout out to the new timeout feature that can happen between rounds. So they'll call on the timeout, look to get whatever is going on fixed, and hopefully we'll get right back into this. But as you can see, all the 8 players are in here. So first time Joe and I dealt with this, it was somebody, I think it ended up dropping out of the game. They were having massive issues, had to restart. Here, everyone's still in, which makes me... Okay.
Oh, that looks good.
We're just getting an update. We're hearing there was an OpTic player that was unable to change classes. So they're looking into the best way to resolve that. And as soon as we can, we'll get rolling on.
Okay, well, yeah, that's definitely right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. It helps to be able to change your class, Joe.
At least they're up 4-0. But sounds like we're going to be good to go here in just a couple of seconds. So we're getting that all figured out. But, you know, the observing team showing us a bird-eye view, a standoff, taking us around inside that butcher shop. OpTic right now, 4-0 lead. Really in control.
Yeah, no, it's been fantastic so far out of OpTic as they'll look to close this out as soon as we get rolling again. But, I mean, Dashy hasn't died. Formal's been winning just about every one-on-one he's taken at 5-1. The map control has been superb. The trades have been on point. Even when timing seems unlucky, like you had the mid-cut the one time, it ends up working out. Everything in their favor to go up 2-0.
And there's been a couple of times. I thought, honestly, the timeout was someone on Paris because I've seen multiple gunfights where they just stopped shooting at OpTic members. I'm like, oh, that's a kill. Never mind, it's not a kill. So
yeah, right. Awesome here, and we should see a 10-second countdown clock pop up in a minute here, and then we'll know we're getting right back into it. But thank you, everyone at home, for your patience, and here we go. Round starting in 10. As OpTic will be back to offense, looks to go up 5-0 and closer to closing out this game, and that would spell disaster for Paris Legion, who, you know, as Joe highlighted, you really had to take 1 or 2 of the first 2 maps because it gets worse from there with regards to their stats on the year.
I mean, if they could get it to a game 5, like they're 2-2 on Express, Chicago 2-3, but I thought they had to do it early on in the series. Look at Moscow and Control raid for them. It's a combined 4-12 on those maps. But here in the round 5, it's a little bit of a slower offense, switching up the pace and trying to find an opening. I mean, they have a couple of players inside mid-brown. You have Dashy trying to find a pick, maybe around L-Wall, but who is it? It's Envoy trying to find the opening for the team, and Aqua, he was ready for it that time.
Three versus 3 now. Aqua's got the spot. Quality shots. Formal's head just gets incinerated. Now for what feels like the first time in this game, too, it'll be number advantage to Paris Legion. If Scump or Dashy can get a pick to bring us back to a 2v2. Time's dwindling. Wall bang, not quite there. The nade might finish it off. The shots will. Scump gets the headshot, wall bang through, up to 4-1 on 3 in a row. 15 seconds to go. They've got to work a sight. Temp has rallied over. The timing and transition on the cross will work out. Now a 1v2 for Scump.
Got time.
Down to a 1 versus 1. On it. He's on it. There's the plane in. Can he get away? Just slides away. The pushes through. Little finesse in. Into the fight he goes. And Temp with pistol out. Able to win the one-on-one and give Legion a much-needed round victory.
That round was just so fun to watch, though, from Scump's point of view, from that 3v2. I mean, just the reaction right away with what Aqua was doing inside of Butcher. He knew that he was laying down, right? The nade, he puts it right there. What does that mean? That's going to force Aqua to come up. He's going to hit the wall bang. The wall bangs in. He knows he has to find a kill. He sees the time. He's got to hop to the bomb. Almost makes it happen. Beautifully done from Scump, and that's why he's been so good at search. It feels like his awareness in this game mode this year has been on point. But Temp, able to win that gunfight in the 1v1.
You know, he has been so fun to watch, but props to Legion for, well, getting numbers early and coming up with a big round victory. Well, I'm hearing maybe there's a disconnect, I think, on the Legion end. So apologies, as it appears there might be a bigger issue at hand. We're going to look to get that resolved to get right back into the map 2 as quickly as we can. OpTic currently leading 4-1. We're headed to a quick break. We'll be back as fast as we can. Hello and welcome back. We're getting ready to load right back into this game. Apologies again for the delay. OpTic are going to be up 4-1. From what I understand, it was a crash on the end of Temp. So we're looking to get started as quickly as we can, Joe.
And you kind of see just the players. Sounds like Aqua, you know, he's just trying to get these guys just sort of focused up, maybe making some adjustments. I mean, that's what kind of does, right? Like, what's going on the map? What can we change? Because you have those couple of minutes to discuss it. We'll see what they can do to try to battle back. But for OpTic, it's all about their early map pressure, whether it's Formal finding the opening picks or Scump and Envoy playing together with the aggression, the way they played around the map. So far, so good.
Well, yeah, I mean, they've had early numbers advantage in every round, but the one they lost, I mean, those little skirmishes have been going their way, whether it's been isolating an individual player to take a, you know, a 4v3 or 3v2 advantage, or it's just Formal waltzing up mid-map. They've done a good job of getting the numbers, and as you said, kind of taking away any power positions or map control from Legion. But it looks like we're good to get ready and rocking right back into it. It is going to be a 4-1 advantage for OpTic. Just as a reminder, this is a quick restart. So OpTic need to take 2 rounds. Legion need to take 5.
Good math there, Miv.
Yeah, no, I've always been good at math, Joe. Yep.
All right, but here we go. And let me see. Middle of the street. Dashy and Envoy very aggressive. Dashy already can see that cross towards A. So he's letting his teammates know there's nothing at A right now. Envoy just trying to play different angles. They were able to spot one, and maybe with them spotting that player, you see everybody reposition from the OpTic side, but it's pre-crazed, and then whatever Scump has towards the back. It's very slow offensively from Paris.
Keep an eye on that number 8 in Scump, as he's been lurking back alley. It looks like he's actually just going to wrap him back to his teammates. They're all kind of grouped up around Grandma's, just holding their side of the map. The bomb will now move up towards that A site as Legion will work to get this plant. And in this spot, it was Formal who just kind of waltzed up mid-street and found picks the last time around. This time, though, they're ready for it. Aqua's got the spot. Aqua's got the angle. Aqua's got the first blood. And wow, some nice movement and shots there again to take down Dashy. 4v2 for Legion as Aqua takes over the round.
I mean, he made that adjustment. He did not want Formal to push up through middle of the street. They take their time. They get to A. And with nobody in courtyard there from OpTic, you had 2 players in Aqua and Temp.
Oh,
just take it away. Scump almost lines them up. But maybe that's what Aqua was talking about during that break. I mean, he just gets to this spot. And there was Formal thinking, all right, let's take those gunfights. But they did not expect him in this corner. This pre-fire on the Dash. He's ready for the trade.
Beautifully done. Yeah, I thought the end there for a second. You know those situations where like they line up, one guy can't shoot, or he takes out his teammate. Like I thought it was going to end up with like a team kill and Scump getting 1, and suddenly it's a 1 versus 1. But Paris able to close it out. And Aqua, what a round it was. 3 kills in that round. As that'll bring the overall score to 4 rounds for OpTic, 2 for Legion. Nice pick. First blood to OpTic. What can they do
that's
with
almost
this 4
exactly
versus 3?
what Aqua did, though, too. I mean, he's not ready for that, but both of these teams, the way they're splitting on A and B, big courtyard has been open. That's a nice trade by Zaptius. But you think with, I don't know, Paris just doing it, someone would be ready for it.
The game kind of comes to a halt here for a moment. As all players posted up, looking for the angle, the pick. OpTic Chicago kind of inching their way forward towards this A site. Now it's going to be go time. Scraps is the guy in position to put a stop to it, and Formal puts a couple bullets through his brain. 3v2 now for OpTic. Dashy with a jump and the chow around the corner, and suddenly it's Zaptius on an island, 1 versus 3.
I thought for a second, depending on where Formal planted, that he might have had a timing, but that window gets shut down by Dashy. And yeah, both teams kind of slowing down a little bit offensively. You know, the way the defenses are playing, there's nobody mid-courtyard. You had Aqua on 1 round, taken away from them. You had Envoy this time open things up. And when OpTic know they're not getting aggressive towards Brown, they can try to find the pick at A, and that's exactly what they did. They're letting the defense move around the map and, you know, keeping them guessing.
So now OpTic up 5-2. 1 round to take it 2-0 edge in our game field marquee match. Yeah, I mean, if Scraps gets a kill there or slows that push down a little bit, I could play out very differently, but I mean, he just gets ripped off the site. Back to Brown go Legion as Scump is tucked away in a corner outside.
Yeah, I mean, this is your adjustment. You have 2 players in a back-to-back setup. Envoy mid-truck, watching across to A. Scump, he's making sure that mid-courtyard push cannot happen. But then you see what the ARs have to do. You have Formal looking over Scump, and you have Dashy worrying about that long flank. And as soon as Envoy sees somebody, look, he backs up. That forces Formal to go for that reposition. They're just reacting very well to where Legion are on the map.
Well, 1 ends up being a team kill as Temp takes out Aqua. Suddenly it's Temp. He's just by himself. Temp will drop. That's the final round, the 6th round to the way of OpTic Chicago, and they will go up 2-0 in this best of 5. Seemed like you like the setup there at OpTic.
Well, it's just the way they're kind of playing with the information on the map, right? Just reacting. And, you know, teams will get better at sort of showing a fake towards one way because you do have a very quick reaction. But yeah, OpTic, they looked a little bit a step ahead, and it's different than what we saw even in standoff last week, because I mean, when we saw it the first week, it was very quick. It was just felt like it was 4v4 hits constantly in the middle of the map. That time, teams got into their setups. They were trying to make adjustments and find openings. You know, everybody's watching every time there's standoff, just trying to see what works, what isn't working.
That's what I kind of wonder, you know, is when a new map comes into the rotation in Search, like what's easier? Like kind of, I don't know, simple default setups where everyone kind of knows their spots and who they can help, or just those 4-man hits, right? Get aggressive and rely on the messy trades to work it out. But we've kind of seen both so far.
Yeah, we have. That was fun to watch. And now OpTic with 2-0 series edge. You get where Paris has been solid in both of those game modes. Now you get to this raid control where they've been a lot better than the Legion.
Yeah, that is very true. But let's check out our U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be from round 3. I believe it's Scump and Envoy handling business to get around in the bag for OpTic Chicago. Let's check it out one more time, Joe, and tell me what you liked. Oh, that's the one where I thought I got the worst timing ever.
Well, yeah, I think whoever that first player is starts shooting at Scump. I mean, he's thinking he's got one player dead. He wants to find the 2-piece, but that's just all about Scump and Envoy taking middle of the map away. Well, this just puts Temp and Scraps in a really difficult position. They want to deal with the players inside of Butcher, but he's going to hear that mantle up and Envoy able to take that player down. This gives OpTic that 3-0 lead. You know, just showing different looks on both offense and defense.
Scraps, an impossible situation. He will get dropped. OpTic take control. I know we had a bit of a pause, a bit of a reset, but in the end, OpTic Chicago able to take it, go up 2-0. Look at the clean sweep. Coming up next in the control. Don't go anywhere. The series continues on after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. Presented by USAA Renters Insurance, made to insure your gear in real life.
And we are back. We continue on with Chicago up 2-0 in our current series, but we're going to talk about Scraps and Paris Legion a little bit. You know, since Zaptius came into the lineup, we've seen some improvements from them, and while in certain modes, step back maybe in others, but when you talk about their KDs, for the most part, they've kind of gone up since Zaptius joined in his first match back on May 27th.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think we're looking at maybe a little bit more from Temp and Scraps if these guys really want to start competing, but Zaptius,
yeah,
he had this impact with London Royal Ravens last stage. I mean, I think you look at the way they played at the end of the major, it felt like that team was getting better in his departure. Well, there were some question marks for some people with those roster changes because it felt like they were really starting to get things going. But Zaptius ends up on Paris. It's kind of back to work. But at the end of the day, OpTic Chicago right now, they are the better team in all modes.
Yeah, and we're going to Control, which I know you need improvements if you're Legion in all modes, but they've been playing pretty solid in Search. But Control, I mean, throughout the year, it has been kind of their vein. It's been very difficult for them to find wins, and you see OpTic sitting at 17 and 11. And you kind of put the emphasis, the importance on those first two maps. Paris Legion really needed to walk away with one. They try and push the distance to a Game 5. That becomes very difficult when you're in an 0-2 hole, now going to what most would consider your worst game mode. What do they have up the sleeve? Maybe some magic they can pull against OpTic Chicago.
Yeah, 17 wins, 11 of those coming on this map on Rage.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they've played this 17 times. Paris 3-7. But I mean, you know, I think you're looking at Simp and Aqua, kind of what we saw from the first map, at least slaying with the likes of Formal and Dashy or ARs. If they're able to find those picks, stay alive, top bedroom. We've seen it time and time again. Those guys can be the difference makers to open up the zones. But OpTic starting on offense first. We'll see what they decide to do. We've seen a couple of things going towards B first, but it looks like it's just going to be a default towards this A point.
Oh, Envoy dodging nades and hitting shots, but he'll be right onto the zone. A single player has dropped yet. Who's going to find the first kill? Finally, it's going to be Dashy. As Zaptius now goes for the hit through Zig. Tries to catch the timing onto Dashy, but Dashy just keeps finessing, gets away with his life. A bit of a magical movement there out of Dashy.
Yeah, I mean, nobody was getting a kill because OpTic, they were just waiting for the mid push. You had Envoy kind of baiting out that they were at A, and you had two players inside of Zig just waiting for them, right, to try to take art control. They had mid-map. Were they going to go through pillars? Were they going to go through Zig? And there really wasn't a huge reaction out of Paris. No one could get inside of the zone. Nobody could get inside of art. They do have a life advantage, but Paris not able to really take much away, and maybe they're just saying, hey, we'll just give it up. We'll play defense at B.
Well, the problem is you've got Formal pushed up towards Tiki. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot of the way to help right now, but he's gotten to a very strong position, and Envoy won his one-on-one inside of Kitchen. So you got to be careful here if you're Legion. Like, you're one misplay away from maybe losing this round one. And it might be coming now. Scump is able to pick up two. Oh, God. Scraps gets put in the blender as Envoy hits the shots. That'll be 3 down. Tip, the final player will fall. Now should be the stack in for OpTic, and that'll be round one quickly in the books.
So here's the thing. If you're not going to go for A, right, if they're not going to play aggressive, if you did have Aqua Zig, right, he was 4-0 and he gets dropped, but he was your only player forward. If you're not going to really put a lot of emphasis on retaking A, you better get your B setup. You better get bedroom control, and they never do. They lose Kitchen right away. They lose all those gunfights. And as you said, Formal was already at Tiki, so you had nobody low water. I don't know, maybe just some miscommunication there from Paris, but the fact is they lose all the important gunfights at the end of the round, and OpTic, that was a fast one.
Yeah, it certainly was. See if Legion can answer back. Not the ideal start as 2 will drop. 3 will fall. Legion on the back foot early. All 4 go down. OpTic are soaring. OpTic are flying. Scump is 9-2 on a 5 spree to kick this one off. And it seems the control woes for Legion might be continuing, at least throughout this series.
And needs one more kill for some streaks, and he's going to find it. At least he picks up the artillery. Formal, he's able to find another pick, and I think with that pick, you see Envoy and Scump just off spawn, maybe thinking about pushing up through pillars. Ooh, okay. You already have Dashy staying alive. But this is what I mean. Right, OpTic knows they'll go for it a little bit if maybe Formal finds another kill. But with Dashy playing low water the entire time, they're going to give up A if they have to. But Paris, because they try to get aggressive, there's only one player on the point, and it's not done yet.
See if they can finish it off. Scump tries to come through on the flank. Now they'll give it up. Try to get into their setup. 2 will be dead, but look how far pushed up Dashy is. So he's already got eyes on garage side. 2 wrapping back-to-back Kitchen. So You're into kitchen if you're Legion, which is nice, but you've still got the numbers right now into position if you're OpTic on the other few parts of the map, holding this push. Aqua, both are going to line up, only able to take down one.
But Dashy, okay, so Dashy gets taken down as well. So now you kind of have a similar setup here that OpTic had. You have kitchen control. You have people pushed up. Of T here already, a couple of players on it. I'm trying to do what he can, but he sees that there's not a stack. It's going up really slowly, so they're going to try and take their time.
I was going to say, you still have the streak.
Time.
Yeah, do you think about using it? Use the ping earlier. This time, going to actually call on the streak. Funnels them all into kitchen.
Uh-oh.
That's not the worst case for them. They funnel into kitchen. They push right back out through court. Now you've got Scrap sitting on 3 in a row. This could be a great answer back from Legion to take this offensive round. 3 will go down. That should certainly spell the end to that round. Fantastic from Legion. And yeah, for both teams, you never exactly got into that comfortable B setup. I mean, I feel like the only thing they really sent in one more peek of A was Scump. But they never... they had what? They had apartment control. But I don't think anyone was ever really in kitchen or Tiki, right?
Well, you had 2 players with the aggressive laundry shot, and then that's when Scump was thinking about going through middle of the map. But those players died. So when he goes aggressive towards A by himself, but you only had Dashy who was pushed up. And then Formal actually got under bedroom. So Formal got under bedroom, he got taken down, and left Dashy in a 1 versus 2 on that side of the map. And while that was happening, his teammates were getting smoked inside of kitchen. So you lost the battle at 2 fronts. You have to give props to some individual plays, especially Aqua staying alive at B.
Well, this is a lot better. A lot better from Legion with regards to the opening. They've already got a 6 life advantage. And they have got OpTic pinned back, just milking time off of this clock. Taking the momentum maybe behind that offensive round one to Scraps. Oh, looking for, I think, 6 in a row and inching towards streaks, but not able to do it. I think it's Scump that actually gets all 3 OpTic kills to kind of get them out of that trap.
And Envoy's just been able to get on the point. So really your worry here is that, you know, maybe the clock, but look what OpTic is doing. They know that there's a big stack over towards A. So Envoy just gets off the point and is thinking, all right, let's go B. There's only 1 player back here. He's going to have the flank. Aqua not able to read it. Dashy's going to get pushed up, and the other members have to flood through money window. I thought he was going to wait for Dashy to peek that and get in a position. At least keep somebody at basketball. And with nobody at basketball, that is going to be B push done for OpTic. Now they got to head towards back to A.
They still have 1 player lurking over there. I think it's Scump that's going to continue to lurk. Try and keep some people honest. They can win these fights on the A zone. They're able to do that. They should get the minute extension lives. Oh, I mean, they went down 4 early. They're still down 4. It's not the biggest disparity, but it's an advantage for Legion nonetheless. Now, this time, Legion, there you go. It gets set up, right? You've got 1 kind of watching the back laundry push. You've got a player in kitchen. You've got 2 push through apartment side. This is something you just never really got to in that first defensive round.
And now the team could really get comfortable temp. Him and Aqua having a great map here. Every player struggling on the OpTic side, really, besides Scump, who's having an excellent map. Can they find that second offensive win? Daptius has stayed alive. And on the other side of Scump, Scump's able to take down Scraps with a pistol. I just heard the Diamati going off. But his teammates could not get forward with Zaptius' position. And the fact that he's able to find one allows Aqua to reinforce this spot. Rest of Paris going to push through the middle of the map and get to these mid-stairs. Try to deal with this OpTic push.
Well, they're dealing with it. What a great job from Water Steps as well. But Envoy just didn't spot him. He comes waltzing in, trying to say hello. Now you've got no respawns remaining if you are OpTic. And after what? Basically a perfect opening round. It has been all Legion. They have bounced back and bounced back in a massive way. The final 4 players, can they pull off some kind of miracle? Up, Envoy's going to get caught sprinting again. A freebie there to Legion. As time is dwindling, they lock it down on offense. They get a lockdown on defense. Much improved there from Legion. Now a round win away from one of their few control wins on the year.
Yeah, I mean, it just starts with that start, right? I mean, they take so much time away from OpTic. They have the life advantage, and Then when OpTic does get over towards A, you were in that defensive setup. Zaptius did a wonderful job time and time again, top bedroom. And when there was that low water push, who was it? It was Straps, Zaptius, that SMG duo locking down middle of the stairs, putting OpTic in the blender.
Yeah, they had him in the blender pretty early. And, you know, Formal, who, and we talked about the fact that he really struggled last series against FaZe. It was the control, too, where he really got bodied and kind of struggling here. 7 and 16. Can't seem to find any flow in these controls, but his teammates picking it up. Dashy and Scump going to combine to take down 3.
Scump is frying, man. Double positive. Yes. He's won so many gunfights with pistols as well. Trying to do what he can to get us to a round 5.
He's going to read the rep back. Unfortunately, they've got eyes on that. Able to snap back, but Aqua, nice job there to get 2. Right onto A they go. And getting flooded through their mid-cut as well. Aqua, another kill on the map. They've got so much position right now. They are just soaring at the back line of OpTic.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, they could even take a shot at A again if they wanted to, right? You don't really have a stack anywhere. They're hoping to at least have a life advantage with all of that map position that they had. But maybe with that kill, OpTic might go for this. They might flood through pillars, and they are. They're going to try and stop this A zone, but Aqua has not slowed down, looking for another 3, and he is hitting. Of course, it's Scump to shut him down because he's got 23. Scump has 26. This is a battle between these two.
It feels like it, right? Scump is not missing. Now 3 are going to drop. But yeah, lovely individual moment there from Aqua, but not enough to seal the deal onto the point. Lives-wise, OpTic are up 5. And they never got that A zone, so now you've got under 30 seconds to work with. What looks so good early for Legion. Now maybe in a little bit of trouble, but they're going to get that minute extension. As OpTic will look to get into their default setup. 1 kitchen. You've got Formal pushed up all the way apartment side. You've got the numbers to flood here. Zaptius and Scraps are both bringing it, but Scump, it does not matter. 1 of me, 2 of you do not care.
You just gotta figure out where he is and go somewhere else. Just fight the other players. All right, Scump's off spawn. Let's just flood the point. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Take all the other gunfights. You know where Scump is? Go elsewhere, because he is hitting shots right now. But he needs a little bit of help. And while Paris, they're going to push through low water. They do have 3 players around this, and they're just worried about the flank because they spotted Formal ringside. He's going to go through the middle of the map. Well, it doesn't matter right now because Envoy, him and Formal, able to take down 3, and they needed that. And now you only have 7 lives left. So while you have some time, that A point took so long to complete. They only have 2 pushes at this.
Well, if you're a Temp right now, what are you thinking, Joe? Because you're on 5 in a row. If you're in trouble for this round, you know you're guaranteed a 5th. I mean, there's got to be a lot of importance on getting streaks, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking streaks. Yeah, and maybe with Aqua finding him. Yep, okay, so that's number 6, and there's number 7. There's the artillery. Yeah, just play around it. Okay, he's going to ping this right away. They're going to try and win this in round number 4.
Okay, this I did not expect. I thought it would be all about the setup for next round, but they're going to call it in. Onto the point goes Legion. 5 lives for Legion, 7 lives for OpTic. They've got 2 around Tiki.
They got to wait on Temp. He's taking a long route. You have to wait on him. He could win them the game right now.
Temp for 8 in a row. 9 in a row. Temp is popping off at the tail end of this game. They're stacking onto the site now. He's got another streak. Here comes the missile. Gonna make it even harder for the rotation across. It's not gonna matter. Legion close it out with emphasis in the final moments. The big plays from Temp. Simply too much as they stay alive in this best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, listen. You can have a discussion with whether or not you agree with that artillery. I thought I would probably carry it into round 5.
That's what I was thinking.
They were worried. Maybe, you know what? Maybe you just don't even have a chance to use it. So they get a couple of kills with it. He gets the ping. He gives the call outs to his teammates. And then what a play to just take his time to go on that long rotation.
Well, I think the reason we were surprised is because they were down in the lives count. So what was it when he called it in? All right, when he calls it in here, well, it was 2 lives. I guess it wasn't that drastic, but still, yeah, I was a bit shocked. Well, they didn't have some huge advantage.
It's also the clock, right? It's the clock as well. Now, Scraps was able to find the kill Tiki. We know how important that is, but look at number 4 the entire time. Temp is making the call, wait on me, wait on me. Now it's just a decision. Do I want to go money window? And I think with Formal going down, it's okay. I'm going to flank through backcourt. They're not going to be ready for this, and they were not. He's able to connect on to 2. And while his teammates stayed alive, that's the key thing. If his teammates die, he then has to get on to the point. They don't maybe have a stack, but they wait for him, they listen to him, and that is just a takeover moment from Temp.
You gotta love it. Scraps is fired up. Legion, they stay alive in the series. They push it to a map 4. You gotta love the energy out of Scraps. That'll take us to break. We'll be right back after just a couple minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back as the series takes a turn, gets a bit more interesting as Legion able to take the map 3. Now, before we get into map 4, look at the bottom of your screen. You're able to unlock a free CDL team pack with a purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL. And Joe, don't you love free stuff?
Who doesn't love free stuff? Of course I do. Make sure to do that. Yeah, and especially the CDL team packs because they look great in game.
Oh, very, very sexy. We love our maps and modes too. They're also very sexy. Let's take a look at our best of 5 and how we continue on as OpTic. They take the first 2 games. A nail-biter game 1, so back and forth, so many lead changes. The map 2, a little more dominant out of OpTic. And then Legion, my God, do they come alive after that first round in the control. It was impressive, impressive stuff. But we're going to look at the hardpoint stats as we're getting ready to head to another one. The slang. I mean, every single person positive. Pretty dominant there from OpTic in the first map, but it's a 10-point game.
Yeah, I mean, very back and forth. I think Paris, there's a couple of situations they'll go back and look at if they were a little bit better at. For OpTic, when you outslay that way and they had some early rotations, they'll probably think like, all right, this has to be a bigger blowout for us, or at least a better game. Maybe not a blowout, but hey, for OpTic, you won their map pick, so now you go to Moscow. Where they are 7-5 overall. Paris Legion 1-5. So I know you lose that control. I thought after round 1 and early in the round 2, it was going to be a blowout, but Paris, they fight right back.
Yeah, no, I was thinking that too. I was thinking, all right, this has got 3-0 written all over it, but Legion keep fighting. Impressive stuff there to get the win. I'll see if they can somehow get this to a map 5, as you thought that was probably going to be their recipe for success. If they can get this to an Express where both teams sitting around 50-50. But, again, this one's OpTic's pick. They've been good here all year. What a Legion having their bag of tricks. Maybe walk away with this one. And they keep it close and competitive and find some late game heroics as we're off to the opening rip.
Yeah, I think the key thing, though, from Game 3, we talked about the Game 1 slaying. Game 3, it was what? Scump on the one side, but it was really only him. Everyone else outslayed. So if your guns are hot, this is kind of what we talked about, right? The talent of Paris is there. It just feels like at moments the team play isn't. And well, throughout this year, the team play is, well, really been the difference maker.
Well, you just sort of described OpTic as well. Obviously, you know, they found more success as maybe the gap with their talent a little bit wider, but sometimes both these teams getting behind the talent, just lacking in the team play moments.
Hey, you're all wrong, Dave. Good job. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that point.
Yeah, every now and then. But it's an early
every
opening.
now and then. Every now and then. You got a golden egg.
It's an early advantage here for Legion. They've got the rotation and X as well. The point man will be Zaptius on the other side of it towards our next hard point. It's a 3-man hit on the top side for OpTic. We'll hop out to the sky view. As Scraps and Zaptius look to hold it. So far, so good. They'll go for 2 for 2, and they'll have the numbers here. Temp able to hit a melee on the push through bottom as well. Nice stuff, and they can push open to a big, big lead here. But let's see what Scump, our Game Fuel featured player, is able to do looking for openers.
Yeah, he's about to get flanked, though. Zaptius is trying to hold on. Dashy was ready for it. Temp there with a quick trade. And I thought that OpTic were going to do this on the first time around, but Aqua and Scrap's able to find the 3 kills. So you have a chance there maybe to break up some of that scrap time, right? Maybe find 10, 15 seconds, really cut into the lead a bit. But what was 30, 40 seconds off that first hill? Paris, we're able to hold on to the first push from OpTic. Now we go to this second hill. Scraps, Zaptius getting aggressive. Did they see Scraps go through? But imagine they did. Envoy was able to find that first kill. They're just trying to find him. Well, he's just being a little sneaky snake right now. Going up this staircase, waiting for his teammates to go across the map.
Surprise! Oh. I was so excited for the surprise, but Scump was able to back away. Now the Chow going to come in. He's prone, tucked away, but not going to matter.
Oh,
They hit the shot.
dead.
3 are going to go down. Sorry, 4 going to go down. There's a quick break as Legion lighten it up early. Pushing out to a 60-point advantage. Just dominating OpTic Chicago early.
Just first push, and that's kind of been the critique at times for OpTic. It feels like when they get to the setup, they get broken. Just a little bit too easy. And there's another example of it, is Paris now have that 80-point lead. They're looking comfortable, and this is my worry, because you have a big game out of Aqua and Temp in that Game 3. They start to get going. They're winning multiple gunfights on the map, and Paris running away with this game.
Well, yeah, it's just a matchup based on the success of both teams lately. It's like whatever team's a little bit hotter within a given map might be who's going to take it, but they do get all 4 kills there if you are OpTic Chicago. Looking to rally back as they're in a hole. They lose the map 3 after feeling they might close it out. Now, potential to get pushed the distance. You need the fire to come alive for OpTic Chicago. Let's go to an Astro listen-in with OpTic.
Behind me.
Yeah.
Both sides. Behind you, bus.
The rest of the back.
All in the back. That's behind you, Zap. One back up, Zap. One bus, one back up, one shot.
I'm
He's close, right side bus. Behind car and hill. Zap, weak. One shot hill, Zap, absolute. He's under rat. Outside rat, one shot.
I've
rat. They're still spawning on, guys.
Bus.
Bunny bus. One shot.
Yeah, he's one bullet bus.
He's a bull bus. I'm gonna go new.
Bus.
Going to.
Wood door scraps, last guy.
Yo, Seth, when you spawn, fill rescues, alright?
He's going glass,
Yeah. Okay, I'm
In new right side
to go.
and one glass.
No, I
Right
spawn street.
Glass.
Last time.
They're not peeking me.
Last another one time on me. Scraps, one shot time.
I need him.
Backside.
One shot time.
Laying down back right.
Nice.
Glass, absolutely.
Glass dead.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, perfect. Sit down hill. Do not overchill.
One
I
Eskies.
have a trophy in you, Brandon.
Nothing street.
Just don't die in hill. We're
Yeah,
good. We're
here.
perfect setup. Seth, I'm watching your deep tree. Seth.
You have deep street? Okay, I'm watching my rat.
Eskies dead.
Nice shot,
Nice.
Bill.
Another one Eskies.
All
He's
good, all good. Where'd he go?
holding.
One was
I have
glass.
deep tree, still have deep tree.
He's holding their side Eskies.
One still got. Yo, deep tree really ran out. Seth,
I
turn.
hear it. I got him.
Nice.
Absolute.
Eskies on me, guys.
Yuli dead.
I have left side time. Right side time, right side time.
Nice.
Nice.
Yo, push my ender.
Drops. I don't know where he went.
He's laying down. What's up? Backside hill. Nice.
He's gonna be Eskies.
Yo, glass.
Glass.
Pick up. One shot. Yo, Eskies to hold. Two Eskies to hold. On the right window.
One shot.
Window dead. I am.
He could be front set. He could be front set.
Yep. I'm a pitch mid.
No,
I'm
you
a
huge
pitch
kills
mid.
here, guys. Huge kills are here. I'm
They could be a mid. They could be a
I'm in
mid.
front. They're deep street.
Yeah, I'm looking for deep street.
I'm watching my mid. I'm watching my mid.
I'll give you deep street. I'll give you deep street.
Could be side
Deep street down.
Planter's dead.
I'm looking. Yo, deep street on the truck. Donnie, dead.
Nice. Yo, get time.
Deep street. You're like, oh my god. Go.
I'll get time.
I'm
holding.
I have mid. Very nice. All mid. Stay on for front.
Yeah, I am.
It could be P1.
They could be
You have my front. You have my front.
Yeah, I do. Watch.
Keep watching my front.
Two mid window and one street.
I'm looking at window. Mid window, Donnie.
Oh, Seth.
Yo, Seth. Two mid window.
I'm getting up.
Yeah, two mid window.
Grab Sam.
Yuli dead.
Hold on.
Joe, I'll tell you what. Maybe Formal hasn't lit up this series from a KD standpoint, but maybe I see why. He is literally all of their comms.
That wasn't a Astro listening with OpTic Chicago. That was an Astro listening with Formal right there. I mean, he was literally calling out spawns, telling his teammates to run away, to stay down where they're pushing from. We have a great setup. I was like, okay. I mean, what else does anyone have to say? I mean, that was beautiful stuff from him. And, you know, I mean, what a bounce back after that first rotation. It started at that bus hill, but OpTic now control 4 hills in a row. And maybe it's behind those comms because he got me locked in. Right, I'm not even playing the game.
100%. And, you know, we've talked about the fact that when you're that guy, sometimes if it's a Clay or whoever, and you're being that central call guy, sometimes it's hard to put up the numbers too. Don't get me wrong, he's gotten it rolling in this map, but it's a little more difficult when you're calling out like that maybe to pop off.
No, 100%, because your eyes, you know, they're moving off the screen, right? They're looking at the mini-map. They're looking at, you know, back to what you're pre-aiming, back to the mini-map, making sure everyone is where they need to be. But yeah, I mean, that was awesome to listen to. You know, they needed a vocal leader, and Formal's been that guy for them. You heard it right there.
Yeah, no, that was probably one of the more prime examples of vocal leader that we've heard all year. And now look at this lead. They pushed it up to a 50-point advantage. Zaptius at -6 trying to get it rolling, but it's Formal going to be tucked away in the pocket.
Who put 100 points after 3 hills, right? For Paris. Since that, it was 130. Since that moment, it's 160 or so to around 40 points. OpTic have just won every single rotation that they've needed to. And Paris trying to fight back now, and they have to. And luckily for them, they had that early lead to work with, or this would be a blowout.
Yeah, no, the early lead going to keep them alive, and now maybe a hold it straight will get them close to a tie game, but it's our game fuel feature player that's next to the bat, and he's going to take the first crack at it. Now the peak and the bust, you are not safe from me. Well, maybe you are. I thought he was going to drop
you're safe from him, but not from OpBoy. You're not safe from OpBoy.
Ooh, almost all 4. Beautiful, beautiful stuff there as the little bait and switch comes through. They get him out of the point. Now look who's set up in mid-map. It's going to be Dashy, who locked down most of this time. You kind of heard, what was Formal's big point throughout all of that? Just do not die. Don't die in the hard point. Don't over-challenge. Yep. He heard that like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they had the setup. He's like, all right, we're in a perfect setup. And it's kind of the same thing. You have Formal and Scump on one side. It's Dashy on the hill. And it's Envoy making sure nobody gets escalators. This is literally the exact same setup that we've had last rotation. It's working here again. You see Formal backed up for a second just to make sure that nobody spawns out. But they're 15 seconds away from winning this match.
And I don't think you can talk about how important it is enough, because if Dashy, if you critique one thing about what's something he loves to do.
He loves fighting.
He loves fighting over challenge. Yeah, he does. So just kind of getting that in his ear multiple times, it's crucial from their vocal leader. And now 6 points away from closing it out as Formal will look to pick up the scraps inside T2P, go to work. It's 5 in a row for Scump. It's a hard point win for OpTic. They'll take the series 3-1 as they get it done. And I can't get over it. It was just that. Listen, it was fun. It was It was cool to see how vocal Formal was during that.
Well, yeah, you talk about that. I mean, that was, besides the first 3 hills, that was one of the most dominant Moscow hardpoints I've seen. You take away the first 3 in OpTic, they won around, I don't know, 200 to 40 or so. Like, just ridiculous stuff from them.
And one reason was one of their go-to maps, and it's their pick. And well, you'll see frustration on Scraps. You know, they go down early in that 0-2 hole. Obviously, they haven't gotten everything they've wanted this year from a result standpoint. But I don't know, you've seen some improvements. It's just it's got to be some gut-wrenching losses because you were up big there, and it feels like. Wasn't it something similar to map 1 versus Thieves? They were up like 80 or so points and they let that one slip away. It's like, what do you do when you get those opening leads to continue on and close out the map?
Well, and it's just sort of when they don't have the setup, right? It really feels like a big, I mean, we saw the one break at the second hill, the first rotation, but besides that, they were not able to get out of the trap. And Cellium is going to be one sided again in this hard point, but they're now 1-7 in hard points throughout this stage. And we've talked about this team. That's where they were good early on. They have a lot of talent on their team. We think hardpoint should be a game mode where they have success or at least can compete against our top teams. And they just have not done that throughout this stage with this roster.
Well, let's check out our Scump play of the game now. It's actually a moment during that listen-in where we were kind of listening to Formal direct the troops around. He was also picking up kills during that stretch. It felt like we kind of listened to the team really come alive and get locked in.
Yeah, I mean, it was that bus hill into the first one, and then you have the Formal play where he's able to find that 3x multi-kill, and then they go back into their setup just right away. Where is the push coming from? You had Dashy middle of the map locking that down. It was on the back push, and then they get going. All the momentum is on their side. The lead change comes in, and they just run away with the game.
Fantastic job over what the final couple of thirds of that game. Just dominant lockdown gameplay from OpTic Chicago. They get the dub. They get the win. We're going to go to a quick break. When we get back, we'll have Lottie, Study, and Nameless to break down that matchup.
Call of Duty League is presented by T-Mobile, now America's largest and fastest 5G network. Set your sights on the competition with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. We are at the home of the mutineers as we soar through the gorgeous Florida. We're giving you all of the city sky view right now as we head on over to our results from what we've been seeing today presented by the US Army. So first up, Toronto Ultra proving why they are so damn good once again against London Royal Ravens 3-0. Our Game Fuel Marquee match has just finished. 3-1, OpTic Chicago take it against Paris Legion. Incredible stuff. And coming up next, we've got Surge versus Røkkr. You want to stick with us, folks? It's going to be amazing. Now, we have to talk about what I'm wearing today. Of course, it'd be a shame not to. I'm wearing my Zennies, guys. I can see really well, and not only can I see really well, but it's blocking out all that horrible blue light. So I can't say the same for my friends on the desk here. Unfortunately, they're having those vicious rays of blue light right into their eyeballs.
I need some Zennies.
I'm protected. I'm protected.
Send me some Zennies.
We need to get you boys. We need to get you boys a pair of Zennies for sure. But absolutely wicked. Now, talking about wickedness, let's talk about what we've just seen before our very eyes and blocked by blue light, of course. And that, of course, is OpTic. OpTic looking pretty damn good, and it's great to see it for sure. But in particular, let's talk a little bit about their hard points. So, Nameless, I'm heading over to you once again, my dude, to see exactly what you've cooked up for us in terms of tape.
Yeah, let's look at the final moments of that hardpoint. Op did a great job, battling back and winning a game that it looked like they were headed towards losing. And for Paris, I mean, you look at this squad and their last 10 or so hardpoints. They're 1-10 their last 11, and a lot of them they're losing in the final moments. They're averaging over 200 points in every hardpoint over the course of the last 10 games. So they're getting right there and they're just losing. And here's another prime example. They have full control. They're set up in a great position to get this the rest of this time, and then Temp dies in the back. He needs to play a better spot, maybe an off angle to buy some more time for his teammates to help him out. And what that leads to is OpTic having numbers and able to execute this push flawlessly and get inside. Like, there's no barriers, right? Like, they're not layering the break for OpTic. OpTic is able to get through the back and break the hill with essentially one gunfight win. They win over the spawn. So yeah, I mean, it's just the final moments where Paris is folding or they're making the wrong decision, and OpTic did a great job taking advantage of the mistakes made on the side of Paris, and this was a huge bounce back series for them. But yeah, I just keep looking at Paris and I think, man, they're right there in all these hard points. To be averaging over 200 points and losing 10 of your last 11 is unacceptable.
Yeah, that is unacceptable, man. But just to tag on that series right there, Paris Legion, I feel like they have, like Nameless said, that firepower to be able to slay with some of the best. They get to that 200-point mark, and then they just completely crumble. But just watching that map 4, Paris has started off that map great. I'm pretty sure they dominated the first 3 hills, and then comes to that street hill where OpTic are able to get some time back into that one. And then they were able to chain 3 different hills together. And that's just where Paris needs to show improvements, is that when you lose that first hard point, you need to be able to make the adjustments for the second one. You need to have a full setup and not allow them to break in. But OpTic, that's the way that they were able to fight back. As soon as Paris were fully set up, or at least when they thought they were, OpTic just completely broke it and just kept on chaining those hard points together. So Paris, they just need to be able to slow down their hard point game and realize this is the play that's going to win us the game, and we have to execute it perfectly.
They remind me almost, Paris, of the saying, all the gear but no idea, but not quite to the extreme as that saying. In fact, like, they are showing that they can do it, they can have that slaying power coming across, but these small little mistakes is what is costing them in a series against some of these bigger opponents. And let's be honest, the competition is fierce in this league this season. It's unbelievable. Yeah. So one small mistake can cost you an entire game. But you know what? I'm excited to see what's going to come from them. I'm excited to see where OpTic go from here. And where are we going from here? Well, we're heading to our next game. We've got to talk about it because obviously Røkkr versus Surge is up next. Gents, we already talked about this morning. And in fact, both of you had differing opinions in terms of, if you would be surprised if Røkkr lost or not. Nameless, you said you wouldn't be surprised. Stud, you said you would be surprised. So with that bearing in mind, let's talk about what this game is going to come down to overall. Nameless, I'll start with you, mate. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a similar thing to Paris, man. It's if Surge can close out some of these games. I mean, like I said in the top of the show, you're getting some incredible performances out of players like Gunless, and then you get to like a round 11, right? And then you guys lose that round when you're in an advantageous position, like in Laundry, where Octane pushes up and just dies. There's just these little situations that they're throwing away, and it seems like they almost have a mental block, especially when it comes to that control game mode. They got to round 5, it's 12-8 life count. They have control of Tiki, and they end up losing it. Somehow, some way, these guys find a way to fumble the bag. But like for them, it'll be about getting over that mental block today, getting that confidence. I know it sounds cliche, but it's so true and so applicable to this roster because they've started to step up individually, and the talent and the slaying is there. They just have to close out in the final moments.
For me, I feel like this match is going to come down to on the side of Røkkr because I believe that they will win this series. It all is going to come down to the consistency that they can put up in the respawn specifically because ever since MajorManiak has entered this team, like I said this morning, he's been at a 1.07, just leading the roster in that positive KD. And that was really hard for accuracy back then. It's just like your SMGs are playing at such a tremendous pace that it's really hard to pick up those kills on the map. But MajorManiak, he's that AR right now that's going hand in hand with his SMG duo of Standy, of Attach, that's just keeping that pressure on, making sure that he's putting himself in those power positions with those ARs. So he needs to keep up that play. At least the entire team needs to keep up that play if they want to be able to walk away with this series.
Gents, stellar analysis as always, but I'm going to have to love you and leave you now because we need to go over to our Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. We are joined by Scump. It's coming to you guys right after the break. Hello everybody and welcome to your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Joining me I have the king himself, Scump from OpTic Chicago. Scump, my dude, it's been quite a big comeback for you guys since stage 3. You have gone from strength to strength and it is really good to see the green wall back and at it. You had a little bit of a roadblock last week against FaZe, so I was curious to know, you know, what did that matchup really give you guys in terms of bettering yourselves heading into this week? What did you learn from it?
I think it just kind of like reignited our fire because, you know, we were playing super well throughout the major, and I don't know, we felt like we were going to give FaZe a lot tougher of a match than we did, so it kind of like kicked us in the butt and just made our practice over the past couple of days a lot more productive, and, you know, everyone's going as hard as they can because at the end of the day, our one goal for this stage is to start in winners for LAN. That's like all we're talking about, and, you know, we're doing pretty good at that so far.
You definitely are, man. You definitely are. It's actually something we spoke about at the beginning of this stage is, honestly, the threat level of you guys in this stage is looking pretty damn good right now. I kind of want to know, without giving away too much intel in your team, but I'm curious, is there a key to you guys playing super well or playing up to your potential as a team? Is there something that really ensures, if it's on point, ensures that victory there on game day?
Really, it's all teamwork at the end of the day. I mean, we have, you know, a lot of talent on this team. We know that we can win. It just comes down to executing against some of the top teams in the league. And, you know, against FaZe, I felt like our teamwork was off. We were getting gunned, and it's like there's not much you can do at that point. So we've just been, you know, trying to focus on teamwork, make sure we're playing our lives, make sure we're not throwing, scamming, as we say, in a lot of situations that, you know, sometimes we do. But that's really it, you know, just minimizing mistakes and making sure our teamwork is on point. And if that's there, then, you know, I feel like we're definitely a contender.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, man. Well, it's good to see you guys back to business as usual. Thank you so much for your time, Scump, and best of luck going forward. I'm rooting for you guys for the winners.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go, guys. You've heard from the king himself, Scump. Look, things are back to normal in the Green Wall camp, and I'm excited to see what these guys are going to do next. Whether they actually finish in the winners bracket, it looks like they're on a pretty good streak right now, so we'll have to wait and see. Coming up next, though, we do have an epic match for you guys. We have Røkkr versus Surge. I wonder what you chose in your pick'ems. Don't tell us. Only tell us if you win, because obviously winning is what matters here the most, especially to these two guys on the screen.
Hello and welcome back to the beautiful shots of Florida. Sun in the sky, nice ocean breeze. Joe and I aren't there. We wish we were very, very badly. But let's get into our final match of the night, Joe. This is a big one for either team. Surge versus Røkkr.
Yeah, I think for Seattle Surge, they're trying to get some momentum going with this new roster. And then for Minnesota Røkkr, I mean, you're 1-1 in the group. You know, you're trying to get to 2-1, fight for top 3, and really get back to the way what that stage 2 was, right? I mean, when they added Standy to this roster, MajorManiak has been great for them. So I think a big one for both of these squads.
Yeah, well, let's get into it and meet our squads. We're going to start things off with Røkkr. Let's take a look at the team.
Røkkr certainly come to play.
They can't stop it. They can't stop the kid. They can't stop it.
Oh, Priestahh.
It's Standy! Cuts them all down. What was that? Bang!
MajorManiak, 200 IQ, 10 out of 10 play. Oh my word! Attach is going to save the day. Røkkr, our kings of the north.
A team that we feel has so much potential, really, since the get-go of the year. Just haven't been able to find that lineup, that mix that is finding a ton of success.